going to blanch vegetables. How many of you actually eat enough fresh vegetables other than, salad greens in your diet? Well, I'm going to talk about blanching as a way for you to set yourself up on the weekend. Say you're working, it's difficult when you come home at the end of the day. If you blanch vegetables on a weekend, which is partially cooking them, and then you chill them off, put them in the refrigerator, and then you can use them differently throughout the week. I'm going to show you what I mean illustrating with green beans, but let's talk about just some of the vegetables that are appropriate for blanching, and there are many of them. There's the green beans, carrots, cauliflower, asparagus, broccoli. The thing to remember is that you want to blanch them. Let's say I'm hoping that you would use it in one pot to save time, and I'm going to show you again my blanching pot. It's right here. This is a wonderful tool. I have to say this is my favorite pot in my kitchen, whether it's for making spaghetti, or it's for blanching vegetables, or it's for peeling tomatoes, whatever. This is a terrific pot because it allows you to put a bunch of stuff into it and not have to worry about having to lift a heavy pot of boiling water afterwards. This is especially helpful in a home with children, where you have kids running around, or in a home where perhaps you're elderly, you're a senior citizen, and it's dangerous to lift a hot pot of water. This is a terrific tool. And don't spend a lot of money on it either, because those are not the best ones. The best ones are the cheap ones, because you're just boiling water. Okay, let's talk about the different types of vegetables and how they would be treated in the water. The most important thing to remember is you want to work with the plainest to the smelliest. The smelliest vegetables are often the most wonderful and the most healthy, but they're also pungent. They're called cruciferous vegetables, and they're the ones in the cabbage family. Of course, it's cabbage, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, broccoli, asparagus. So you'd want to flavor the water the least as you're moving in succession with blanching your vegetables in advance of actually cooking them and finishing them and serving them. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to blanch my green beans by putting them in this pot of boiling water. I'm also going to add some salt to that. Now, green vegetables are extra sensitive because their pigment, the green pigment, is very susceptible to becoming muddy. That's what a canned vegetable looks like, that muddy color, and you don't want that. That's why what we're going to do after this is going to cook for about 4 minutes. Remember, we're not finishing them, we're just partially cooking them. So I'm going to get some ice water, which is a process called refreshing the vegetable, which is meant to not only stop the cooking process when I'm ready, but it's also to set this really beautiful bright green color. While we're waiting for the green beans to finish, I'm going to just show you how I trim them. It's very simple. You just take kitchen scissors and you just trim off any types of stem ends. Sometimes I like to leave this little very thin wispy end, and I cut off this end stump there, and that's how I trim them. So again, what you would do is this is the order that you would actually blanch your vegetables: the green beans, the carrots, the cauliflower, the asparagus, and the broccoli. So that's moving from the least flavorful to the most flavorful. Certainly they're all delicious, but we don't want to flavor our green beans with broccoli water, and that's the point. Okay, now we're going to refresh the green beans. All I do is lift them out of my blanching pot. There's a piece of carrot in there, and you use your hands to swish them around. Then what you do is, once these are totally cool, you take them out, you dry them. You dampen them with paper towels, and you put them in like a heavy-duty freezer bag, and you put them in the refrigerator to use throughout the week. Now, the way this would work is, let's say tonight you've blanched beans, and you say to yourself, well, I blanched beans, I want to use them tonight. What you would do is you would blanch a large amount of green beans. And so tonight you would use them, you'd saute them with some garlic and olive oil and serve them with your lamb chops. And then maybe tomorrow night, because you would use this pot to maybe blanch carrots and maybe blanch broccoli, maybe blanch all these different vegetables, 2 nights later you would use the rest of the batch of your green beans to serve with a vinaigrette instead of the same old leafy salad. So in other words, you're making your efforts on one night work for you to not only feed you deliciously and in a healthy way, but also give diversity to your meals. So blanching is a very, very valuable skill for you to do. So I want you to get a blanching pot and hurry.